I'm a CPA.
Yeah.
Shanae is a CPA.
Yeah.
I love my CPAs.
Yeah.
They can't all do this.
Ooh.
And I'm gonna tell you why, right?
Ooh.
Again.
Why?
and this is coming from a CPA, right?
Ouch.
This is coming from a CPA.
We ain't throwing no shade. Don't be throwing shade.
That's real.
No, it's not even shade. This I just to bring some transparency to the conversation.
Yeah.
So again, the CPA exam prepares you to have a broad knowledge of accounting and tax concepts. Mm-hmm. There's not a deep dive, right? And like I said, me going to the top accounting school and not understanding how to proactively save money on taxes, I didn't know that I had to do a lot of self-learning. Shanae also did that, experience a whole bunch of things, right? So when you're looking to hire someone, it's not enough just to find a CPA. You have to find another category and I had to create this group called the tax elites.
Tax elite.
Tax elite, bro.
Say what?
Elites.
What's the tax elite?
Yeah.
Tax elite. I'm glad you asked. Tax elite. So another acronym. So ELITE.
ELITE.
Yes.
Okay.
First part of that E is education.
Yeah.
Did they go to school for accounting or tax? So what you're gonna find is tax preparers, people who there's no requirements in order to do people's taxes.
That's like your H&R blocks.
Exactly.
Yes.
Not knocking them, or like your tax slayers or people like that online, just all that. And real quick, are y'all fans of like those online tax companies? I don't really think they do you justice. Like you need a human being.
So I mean, if you have simple, like you just have a W-2, you just have like dependents, and I mean, just have a W-2 and you make less than, I would say, like $60,000 a year, and it's just W-2, then you're probably fine with just doing it by yourself, just plugging numbers in. But once you start, moving along certain thresholds where you're making retirement contributions that are pretty high, you're paying for child and dependent care expenses, you actually own your home, you actually have stocks and you invest, and you also have a rental property. As your tax code, your tax life becomes more complex, and I typically say to people, once you start to trigger schedules A through E, you definitely want to use a CPA or tax expert. Okay. Schedule A is your itemized deductions. Okay. Schedule B is going to be your interest and dividends. Schedule C is for your business. Schedule D is capital gains. Okay. And Schedule E, I see, earned income, credit. Yeah, so like once you start to trigger those, well, Schedule E is rent and royalties. Yeah. So once you start to trigger those schedules A through E, you now want to get some help.
Get some help.
Yes.
All right, so we got E and then
E, education.
Yep.
L, legal representation. Can they represent you in front of the IRS in the event that you get audited? As a CPA, we have the authority to represent you in front of the IRS in the event that you get audited. So we can hand that for you. You'd be like, yo, I got an issue. I got a letter.
That's why y'all
bet.
That's why y'all.
Yesterday's price is not today's price.
It so ain't.
Yes. So that's L. You also have enrolled agents that have the same authority as well. Enrolled agents, also dope people. So one of the things with enrolled agents, the distinction between CPAs and enrolled agents, if you're trying to figure out who to work with, enrolled agents, they took a 3-part exam from the IRS in order to be able to get this enrolled agent license, right?
Yeah.
The thing with enrolled agents is I kind of see them as real estate agents, meaning that you don't have to go to school or anything to be an enrolled agent. You could just take the exam and show that you're understand the tax code. Enrolled agents are super technically proficient in taxes, so they're really great. CPAs, the minimum required is to have a bachelor's in accounting. Depending on the state, 150 credit hours, which is almost like a master's, pass a 4-part exam that has less than 50% of people passing it. And then you have to have all these other... You have to work under CPA for a year, and then one quick statistic: less than 1% of CPAs are people that look like us.
Wait. Say it again. So out of 100%, only 1% of them are black.
Less than 1%.
So we're not even a full 1%. Are you serious?
Yeah. You got to pause.
Yeah. I mean, I had to pause.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's so funny. I have my homegirl Amy Porterfield on it, and she really spoke about black ladies or black queens, right? Yeah. And she was like, yo, we need more black representation. And sometimes I get hit hard by the white audience by being so strong for my black community. It's not that I don't love white people. I love white people, but I'm tired of only seeing white people up here.
Especially in finance.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? How come we can't be up here too? And it's like we need more people like yourselves being educated, being up there, having the intelligent conversation, because it will make more black people want to listen.
Exactly.
Right.
If I see people who look like me with people who don't look like me, I feel better. I'm more prompt to be like, yo, let me listen because my sister up there, my brother up there, and I don't know them, but they look like me. But when they don't see us, when we don't see us, we're kind of like, do they have our right interests in mind? And so, I'm sorry. I ain't mean to go off on that because, y'all know me. I love all
We love
people.
everybody.
Yes.
But
yes,
representation matters. And that bothers me that only 1% of us are black.
It does. It's a real thing. And not to go too far on the subject, but I did have a client that told me that she worked with someone of the other race and they did not look out for best interest. She approached them about doing like an estate plan. Multi-millionaire, she owns a record label.
Yeah.
And they asked her, why do you need that?
Wow.
So that and I work with athletes, same thing as well.
Yeah.
Just so it's a real thing and we do need to be represented. But I understand it too, right? And this is something I'm gonna put out there. We're both CPA rappers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So growing up, what I'm used to, what I seen was, in order to be wealthy, in order to make money, I had to be a rapper or athlete.
Yes.
I can't play ball. I'm trash.
Right,
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
I got you.
If we're hooping,
Yeah.
I'm the guy that you pretty much gotta like, just forget all the rules. I'm
Yeah.
traveling. I'm looking crazy.
Right.
Butterfingers with the football.
Yeah.
So my joint I was rapping. So I wanted to be a rapper.
Right.
But then as I grew up and I started looking at when I went to college, I did really well in the accounting class, and that's kind of how I went down that route. So that was another side tangent from the elite.
Oh yeah. So
But
we got the E, we got the L.
And then the I. What we've been talking about this whole podcast, integrity.
Integrity.
You gotta work with someone with
Yeah,
integrity, right?
Right.
Are they going to ask you to do things that are not right? Telling you to claim kids you don't have.
Ooh.
Telling you to invest in companies that you don't really own, and then
let's be real. And I want to say in the black community because I know it happens in all communities, but in a lot of communities, people are claiming other people's kids.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, there's some small tax offices that are like, hey, do you need any kids?
Yeah.
We got you.
They'll like match you up with just a random social. Like it's terrible.
It's a real thing.
All right, what's the next one?
So that's the I. T, training. Are they constantly being trained up?
Yeah.
As a CPA, we have to be constantly trained up, continuing professional credits, CPEs.
Yeah.
And then also, too, keeping up with the latest, greatest tax codes, too. VITA has a whole bunch of changes that are going to impact individuals making more than $400,000. It's going to impact everyone.
Yeah.
But the promise is that taxes are not going to increase for people making under $400,000.
You have anything else after the T?
Last E.
Yeah.
E. Experience. So how much experience do they have? Do they have experience working with your specific industry and years of experience as well? You want to work with someone that at least has 10 years of experience in the industry. I think that's a good number to look into. Yeah. So those are things to that's the elite, the tax elites.
So let's end it right here. Here's the hard question. You brought it up.
And my bad, one more thing. With the tax elite, all of the tax elite do tax planning too. So that's the key thing. Tax planning is sitting down with a client looking at,
and that's the expensive part, right?
Yeah,
I mean, when I got y'all's first bill, I was reading, I was like, tax planning. And here's so funny is, I sat down with an accountant of the opposite race, and I didn't get none of that offer.
Of course, yeah,
wow.
None of it.
Yeah.
And I called, paid for an hour. I was like, hey, what do you want to do? I told him I want to do. Oh, okay, yeah, do this, do that. Okay, cool, great. And none of what you and I talked about in that hour. I called my boy CJ. I called my homegirl Cassette. I'm like, yo, did you know this? You know this? You know this? You know this? And everyone's like, yo. I was like, yo. In 1 hour, the information that you gave me for free made me be like, all right, let me cut this check.
Mm-hmm.
For an hour that I paid for, I'm like, I was still lost and confused.
For sure.
So when I met you 2 months ago, I felt so good. And then our boy hooked me up with you, and I was like, yo. And then you tell me y'all two working together. I said, this is God.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo, I'll pay that fee because I know I'm in good hands. And here's another part, is I'm sewing into my community.
Amen.